It's EDS Awareness Month and I wanted to share a little video talking about EDS. EDS stands for Ehlers-Danlos Syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder and it results in a boatload of problems for your body. Basically, all of your joints fall out of socket pretty much all the time and you're in chronic pain as a result of this morning, noon, and night, and it really fucks up your life. There is no escaping it. There are a few things you could do that can help with it. So you could take some pain medicine, or you could do some ice packs, or you could do some wraps, or you could do some dietary changes, but there's nothing you could actually do that would change your genetics. You are born with it and you will have it forever. The problem also is that it's a pretty rare condition and a lot of people don't know about it, and also a lot of doctors don't know about it. So people suffering from EDS often spend many years misdiagnosed until they finally find a doctor who understands their condition. Now, I don't have EDS myself, my wife Martina does, and she would be here filming this video as well, except she's in Canada now for family emergency, but I wanted to film a video before EDS month is up. And in some ways, I think that I, as her husband, who is not actually suffering from EDS, can talk about EDS in a way that people actually suffering from it might not be able to say out loud. So for those of you who are familiar with our channel, you've seen Martina in our other videos and you know how charming and how vibrant and how energetic and how wonderful she is. But for those of you who are watching our videos, you don't actually see every single moment of Martina's life. You don't see the days when she's wrapped up in ice. You don't see the days when she can't get out of bed. And you don't see the days in which she cries. And you won't see that side of Martina. You shouldn't. Making these videos are one of the few things that genuinely make her happy and help her keep her mind off her pain. And also in our videos, you don't see a lot of Martina's pain and you don't hear her talk about it because of the guilt. And guilt is the big thing I want to talk about today, because one of the biggest symptoms that EDS patients might suffer from is an extreme sense of guilt. There's guilt in canceling plans with your friends because she can't put on shoes that night. There's guilt in asking for help when she can't wash her hair in the shower. There's guilt in not being able to help her family out as much as they need. There's that guilt in having to burden people when she talks about her pain. And this guilt weighs on her very, very heavily, and that's why it's easier for me to make this video instead of her. But the point of this video isn't to make you feel bad for Martina, because probably that'll make her feel even more guilty. I've got two different points I want to make. Now, the first point of this video is to raise awareness of EDS, because it's EDS Awareness Month. And I know for the vast majority of you, this is not going to be relevant because it's a very rare condition. A lot of you probably don't have it, and you probably don't even know somebody who has it. But there are some of you who might have it, and some of you that might have it that don't even know that you have it yet because you've been so misdiagnosed for so long. So if you have any of the symptoms that I mentioned about Martina with her joints falling out regularly, or if you're just curious about EDS, please click on the link here. They give you a lot more information than I can give you in a short video. So that's point number one, raising awareness of EDS. The second point I want to make right now kind of goes back to Martina's sense of guilt. Martina's having a lot of difficulty climbing the stairs lately, and she's also having a lot of difficulty standing on the subway for a long period of time. So she has to use the elevator a lot more, and she also has to sit in the spots for the elderly, disabled, or the pregnant. But it makes her feel terrible, really, really guilty whenever she has to use these things because she herself doesn't look disabled. She looks pretty young still, and you can't see on her that she has a disability. So whenever she has to use an elevator or whenever she has to sit down in a disabled spot, she's wondering, well, how many people are looking at her and thinking that she's a lazy American or just an asshole for taking the spot when somebody else should have it. And this is a major problem for people with invisible illnesses. And invisible illnesses are not just EDS, but there are other conditions like POTS or fibromyalgia. I don't know how to pronounce that one, but it's a scary one as well. And there are lots of invisible illnesses in which people need to use these things, but you might not necessarily see it on their bodies outright. I sometimes see these justice videos online of other people yelling at some people for using handicapped parking spots and screaming at them and saying that they're not disabled, when these people have no idea what that person might be going through on the inside. Just because you don't look like the handicap icon on the parking spots or you're not in a wheelchair doesn't necessarily mean that you're not disabled. So I'd advise, if you can, to keep that in mind. This is my second major point. If you feel the urge to scold somebody for using a handicapped parking spot or for using disabled seating, you can actually do that person a lot more harm than good. Because if they're an asshole that's just using the spot because they want to, I doubt your yelling at them is gonna cure them of their assholishness. But if the person actually does need that spot and you ream them out for it, you could scar them forever. The payoff matrix is not in your favor. You can do significantly more harm with this than you can do good. There are lots of people suffering in ways internally that aren't manifested externally, so please don't give them them shit about it. So that's it for my little video. Thank you for watching. Martina actually flies back tomorrow and we can get back to making videos as soon as she's over her jet lag and feeling better. Thank you for watching and happy EDS Awareness Month. Even though it's not really a happy thing to be aware of, but enjoy the rest of your month. Bye.